Mayong adlaw mga katambayan, no ganiyan na usab kita sa atong tulumanong tambayan sa Radyo Pilipinas. Yes, mga katambayan, ani ang kita karon sa to panag-uban di sa to ang tulumanon, no. O karong hapunan, no. Ato ang lakpitan, no, o hisgutan, no. Kini ginatawag nato na sustainable development dinhi sa ato ang dakbayan, no. Of course, dili man nato makita dayon, no, pero dai usahay, no, nga mga times especially kato sa mga mga developers, no, ug katong mga negosyante, no, nga kabalo mo nagareklamo tungod grabe daw ka stricto ang syudad, no, in terms of kaning pagtukod og mga buildings or naiuban dinhi nga kuan daw, no, stricto kayo kana mag-develop og mga subdivision. It's because taas kayo ang agihan, no. So mo nang isa sa mga kuan ginapuy-an karon sa tuang dakbayan, no, kaning sustainable, no, nga development. Of course, kuha ni siya mga igalan, no, nakaangkla ni siya sa katong ginatawag nato nga UN Sustainable Development Goals, no. I think by 2028 pa to, o kung wala ko nagkamali. Pero ang kuha na mga katambayan, no, maghihimo lang na, no, it's because of the environmental risk and impact, no. Maong stricto kayo, no. So aron nga dili ta makuha, no, medyo dili man siguro maignorante, medyo kuha, no, medyo sige, ignorante na lang ang term, no. Atong paminaw, no, ang kaning ginatawag nato, no, kung asa lang madapat nga area itukod ang usa mga negosyo, no. So nala siya naka-cluster na siya mga katambayan, no. Anyways, asam to kung papel na dinhi. Ato ang paminaw, no, ang pahayag, no, o discussion, no, ni sa kuan, no, City Planning and Development Office may kalakon CPDO, no, pinaagi sa head writer, no, sa zoning ordinance, no, of 2019 to 2028, no, si kuan Ma'am Ruby Rose Lora, no, para ipaklaro, no, or i-explain kung unsa ba jud ning comprehensive land use plan, no, nga iyahang nasulat og naprobahan sa tong konseho. Paminaw na to.
So can we go to the next slide, please? So let me tell you very quickly about where the city is coming from in terms of pursuing its sustainability efforts. So we are actually informed by what we call the city's comprehensive land use plan, or more popularly known as CLUP. So what is CLUP? The CLUP actually provides the guideposts for the city's development track. It rationalizes the city's land and water use. No? Next slide, please. This comes in 4 volumes, and this is a 12 process plan development, of which we have the assistance and guidance of the Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development. In the 12-step process, it also ensures participation of the various offices, groups, and organizations. So in other words, a multi-stakeholder plan development process that the city is pursuing. And we are actually developing this plan or updating the plan every 10 years. Okay, so it takes quite a while to prepare the plan. And for this particular plan in 2019-2028, we wish to highlight that the plan adhered to three basic principles. Next slide, please. But just so I may not forget, this is what the vision of the city is. Just so we all are aware, this is what the city wants to be. It wants to be a globally livable regional center and a center of excellence in governance, investment, tourism, climate change adaptation, disaster resiliency, and sustainable growth driven by empowered citizenry. So that's our vision. And so, saan po ba nakaangkla ang comprehensive land use plan ng city? So we adhere to three basic principles. That of embracing the ridge to reef approach. So meaning, holistic approach natin, we would look at developments and how the developments from the highlands down to our coastal areas and the symbiotic relationship of both. And we also rendered our plan a climate change lens. So part of the development of the plan is we actually had to do a climate and disaster risk assessment. So concrete output of the plan, we have identified areas which are which are exposed to risk to hazards of flood, landslide, storm surge, liquefaction, and earthquake. And the third principle that we have embraced is that our plan should be promoting sustainable growth. Okay. So okay. And also, the city has embraced or adapted what it calls as its development strategy. It's a multinodal concentric strategy. We wish to decompress and promote development in various areas of the city, decongest the central business district, and promote growth, economic activity in the barangays. So there, if you would notice all those small circles, that's where we hope to generate economic activity among other activities, promote facilities, infrastructure, etc. in all those areas. Next slide, please. And also part of this comprehensive land use plan are also determination of policy areas. So one concrete policy that was generated from the plan is, we know the story of Jade Valley, right? So when it rains really hard, it turns into a river. So we do not wish to encourage further use or further building of residential houses or structures in this area. So part of the policy that the city adopted is to actually zone this area for parks and recreation use. So hindi na ho tayo pa mag-encourage na bumili tayo ng lupa sa Jade Valley kung sakaling meron pa pong available at on sale dahil ayaw ho natin lulutang tayo sa panahon na malakas ang ulan. Okay po. So pangalawa, we also actually have decided to turn Barangay SMAA and 19B also for parks and recreation use. Because these are also areas which are hardly hit by flooding during heavy rains. Next slide, please. And di ho ako sigurado if we have around here attending property developers, but this may be of particular interest to you because the city is actually requiring green space for our projects, no? Previous natin, from the previous comprehensive land use plan that the city had, that was in 2013-2022, we were only requiring 10% of your greening area of your property, 10% of your property for greening. But now, the city has increased it to 15%. But then, there were also clamors from our property developers na baka naman masyadong malaki din yung 15%, mas mababawasan naman yung aming mga saleable areas. So, the city heeded that appeal from that particular sector, so we made an exception. So for residential projects, it will only remain at 10%. For all other projects in the city, it will be 15%. Next slide, please. Our previous speaker made mention of protection areas. So in our comprehensive land use plan, the city, along with the concerned offices, made the effort to identify protection areas to help us ensure na we will not be introducing activities that will be detrimental to these areas. No? So if you notice, I'm not sure if you all could read it, this is a map of our protection areas in 2013 to 2022 plan. If you notice in 2019, mas lumapad ho siya. No? That is because our land use plan for 2019-2028, in our land use plan, there is a significant increase of our forest and forest land area. So that is with the help of our Department of Environment and Natural Resources. They helped us identify our forest and forest land area and also aided us in developing our city's forest land use plan, which we actually integrated into our comprehensive land use plan. So this map would actually show you our protection areas. No? Next slide. You will actually be seeing a couple of maps just to show you, give you an indication where are the protection areas in the city. So this map shows you our marine protected areas. From only having identified 3 in the past comprehensive land use plan, in the current plan that we have, we already have identified 10 protection areas with the help of our city agriculturist's office. Next slide, please. And also, we have what we call open spaces easement, and we also have what we call the water resource overlay zone. So these open space easements, these shall be observed along riverbanks and major canals to help protect our waterways. While our water resource areas, these are identified as location of the principal source of our drinking water. Di ba po, we are proud in Davao that we are able to drink water directly from the tap. So, yan po. That's part of our the city's efforts as also to also protect these areas. No? Next slide, please. We also have identified what we call the critical watershed areas. These are areas that show critical degradation. So we do not wish na magpatuloy ho natin masira ang mga areas na ito by continuing our not so responsible ways and practices. No? So you would want to promote and protect this area. So, ito po lahat ng rationalization ng ating land use and water use, meron mo itong corresponding use regulations in our zoning ordinance. No? So for our friends in the business community, you may have plans of introducing improvements in your current business, expansion in your current line of business, or probably introduce other lines of businesses. We would like to encourage that if you could kindly come and visit us at the City Planning and Development Office para ho ma-check natin yung inyong location or your project sites, if these are in sync also with what are the allowed uses in the property in the zones of your properties that you have acquired, no? Because we have actually instances where there is this applicant, meron hong malaking project, but it turns out, hindi ho swak, hindi sync yung planned activity or project kung ano yung allowed use in the zone classification of the property. So, we hope that with a comprehensive land use plan, this is an effort of the city to provide the enabling environment for us to pursue and promote our sustainability initiatives. So, again, we thank you and I
Okay mga katambayan, mo to no, ang diskusyon no ni Ma'am Ruby Rose Lora no, ang head writer sa Comprehensive Land Use Plan of 2019 to 2028 no. So unta na mo na nakutlo no, pero kung wala kon balik-balikan lang yung paminaw no aron nga kuno masabtan ninyo kung unsa ning CLUP. Anyways, mga katambayan, sa atong pagbalik no, atong paminawon no ang ang discussion usab ni sa gikan gyapon sa City Planning and Development Office, mga galano pinaagi ni Sir Errol John Denosta no, ang Chief Project Monitoring and Evaluation Division sa City Planning and Development Office no, kung unsa tong mga environmental and sustainability efforts sa ato ang dakbayan no, para kuanta no layo ta sa mga bisag unsa nga environmental risk no. Anyways, mga katambayan, balik kita malang sa mga importante kay pahinumdom ning atong sibianan. Balik kita mga igala o kaganihan no, nadunggan na to kung usan lang ba itong mga zones no or mga lugar nga dapat asa lang pwede ang patigayon, kung asa lang pwede ang residential no, o kung sa itong mga stricto nga kuan no, mga lugar no nga di siya no build zone siya no or protected area. So mo tong gi-discuss kaganihan ni Ma'am Ruby Rose Lora no, ang kuan no, ang head writer sa kuan, tawagan ning head writer sa Comprehensive Land Use Plan no of 2019 to 2020. Karon mga katambayan no, atong hisgutan no kung unsa ba tong mga efforts sa government no, especially for the climate change no, ug uban pang environmental risk no, dinhi sa tuang dakbayan no, kay kabalota to among dakbayan mga katambayan nga kuan no, prone sa baha na uban dira landslide prone po tungod sa kuan no, pag-ulan, mga pag-ulan lang dito, tapos tungod kay kuan na deforested na ang uban, mga ere wala na kay kahoy no, kuan jud no, tawagan ni kanang dapat protektahan gid siya no. Okay, dahil landslide prone, kung daghan na pud ba ang mga biktima, kung daghan pud ang mga kuan pud no, mga biktima sa pagbaha o sa paglandslide. So anyways, mga katambayan, atong paminaw no ang discussion ni kuan, actually kung sa mga nautanag asa ni during ni sa katong kuan presentation ni sa city government no, during sa SEC Small and Medium Industries and Large Enterprise Embracing Sustainability kung SMILES no, Davao Road Show no, natong kuan no, June 20 sa Seda Hotel. Mao ni ilang kuno gi-share lang nila ang good practice sa tuang kuno, especially on sustainability efforts sa tuang lokal na kagamay. Anyways, nato magdugay na to paminaw no sa mga sustainability efforts sa tuang dakbayan, pinaagi ni Sir Errol John Denosta, ang chief para sa Project Monitoring and Evaluation Division sa City Planning and Development Office. Paminaw na to.
Talking to you now about the sustainable development efforts of the city in terms of sustainable development. So, the thrust of our city mayor right now is digitalization. So this means that when you apply for your business in the business bureau, we will now be experiencing digitalization. So we are now gearing towards the ease of doing business. And also with that, we have our single-use plastics ordinance and our rainwater catchment ordinance. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. So to continue po, the Shrine Hills now has been introduced as an urban ecological enhancement subzone. So this means that way back in 2013, Shrine Hills was officially designated as a UEZ under the city's comprehensive land use plan. So this subzone, intended for extensive greening program, to enhance the urban ecology and mitigate climate change impacts, including flooding and landslides in the area. So right now, we really envision that we want to balance economic development and environmental management in this area because Pine Hills has been identified as a key biodiversity area, and also it can aid in our pollution because it serves as an urban lung of the city. Okay. And then in the updating of our CLUP in 2019 to 2023, so the area of the ESZ has been significantly higher by 1,800%. So we have expanded it to Bangog, Punta Dumalag, and some areas in Buhangin. So the UESZ is now more spread out. Looks like that. So as you can see in the map, so those greens are zoned as UESZ. Next is that we have our local climate change action plan. So this plan covers the years 2019 to 2023. So the city government of Davao formulated the LCCAP to pursue and secure the city's development needs, sustainability efforts, and initiatives by building disaster resilient and climate change adaptive communities. So it covers 7 thematic areas. So these are food security, sustainable energy, water sufficiency, human security, ecological environmental stability, climate smart industries, and knowledge capacity and development. So with this, we will now be updating our local climate change action plan. So we are now starting with our climate and disaster risk assessment. So we can map all the hazards of sa lahat ng barangays ng city. And now we will be integrating the green and blue economy and then the joint carbon mechanisms. And by July, we will now be working with our plan for circular economy. So this is another project po with UNDP. Okay, next slide po. So with this, our city government has institutionalized our local our climate change action plan. So we have a Davao City Climate Change Committee that looks into the plans, programs of the LCCAP and is in charge of the updating of the LCCAP as well. Next is that for our urban forestry and watershed protection, so we have in 2023 rather, we have distributed 98,000 seedlings and we have planted 27,346 seedlings, which covers 22.45 hectares in our watershed areas and planted 31,711 propagules, covering 3.88 hectares in our mangrove areas. Next is for our parks development. So our city government is really pushing towards building more parks and green space and enhancing our green spaces. So this is the example of our Los Amigos Park. So this is already open. Next is our Dona Vicenta Park. It's currently on phase 1, but we will be starting building the phase 2 within the year or early next year. So as you can see, Dona Vicenta Park utilize the greeneries. So there are little green infrastructure, so it's basically green, and we have used permeable pavements in the area. Also, we have enhanced the Rojas Avenue. So this part, so it has different facilities. You can exercise and then you can walk. So, yung mga businesses po dito, so if the development of these parks really help the growth of the businesses here, especially going dito sa Rojas Light Market natin. Next is that we have pushed with organic farming. So we have 10,431 seedlings produced and distributed. And with this, we have 552 beneficiaries from various barangays of the produce that came from our organic farming. Okay. And then we have our Bantay Dagat and Bantay Bukid volunteers. So for our Bantay Bukid, so they are the ones, they have the task in reforestation initiatives to preserve the local environment. Also, they are observing and reporting any illegal logging activities. And then they are collaborating with local officials to enforce environmental protection regulations and educating the community on sustainable practices to reduce waste and pollution in our forest. And then we have our Bantay Dagat. So they are the ones who safeguard our coastal areas. So they are employed to monitor and protect our marine resources. So they are carrying out coastal cleanup activities, educate communities as well on sustainable fishing practices, report any illegal fishing activities to authorities, and participate in rescue operations for distressed marine animals. Also, we have converted our sodium lights to LED street lights. So by transitioning to LED street lights, energy consumption is really expected to decrease, potentially resulting in an average monthly saving of 13 million for the city. So we can utilize this amount to other beneficial projects for the Dabaweños. And also, we have an effective disaster risk reduction and management in our Central 911 also. And we would like to encourage our enterprises, if there are drills, that you participate in the conduct of these drills. So in 2023, we have conducted 208 trainings, 113 benchmarking activities, and 159 drills conducted. And then, what we are now boasting is our crime statistics. No? So we would like to assure you that Davao City is really safe. As you can see, we have a total crime index that decreased by 22.97 compared to the data in 2022. And for our 8 focus crimes, it decreased in 2023 by 39.57%. And our non-index crimes decreased by 22.10%. So with all of these things, it is really the collaboration of the public and private entities, no? And we are really proud that we have this culture of security. So this concept entails the commitment and engagement of all the Baweños to support anti-terrorism, anti-criminality, and anti-insurgency efforts, which will in turn to help create a physically and psychologically secure community. So, ang tagline po natin dito, pag may nakita, dapat magsalita. Okay? Next. And then we have our Peace 911. So this initiative was established on May 10, 2018 to counter insurgent forces, particularly in Paquibato District, by strengthening community relations and delivering government services in the area. So it has expanded to cover Maduro District and 4 other barangays in Kadina. So with this, we have introduced the peace economy. So all the produce, the products of our indigenous people. So we have a market here in the city. So that is one way of bridging the markets of our rural to urban areas. So next. I think I will end with this 2 slides. No? So as you can see this, in our efforts of sustainable development with the diverse people, IPs, and then the rich flora and fauna of the city, and also our biodiversity, reaching the sustainable goals is a subok-subukan. However, we would like to say na that in the SDGs now, no one is left behind. And in doing all of this, we should also look into the SDG number 17. So these are the partnerships for the goal. So we cannot do this alone. So we need your help to attain all the SDG goals. So lastly, I would like to tell that there is always hope. Now, in doing things, there is always hope. So that is all. Thank you so much.
So mo to mga katambayan no, unta daw na may nakutlo no kung anong ingon ani ka stricto to ang local government no in terms of kanang pag-approve kanang mga subdivision plan no. Sa mga bito na may experience pud no nga kuan tawagan ni na experience ba nga na nakahimo ng subdivision plan sus pagkakita daghan man dig mga century old tree. Ipausab na pud no. It's because sa kainit sa panahon karon no nga pila ka kuan, pila ka degrees no ang kuan pa sa mga milabay mga adlaw no nga maabot og tag 40 pataas ang ato ang heat index no. So it's a way na aksyonan gini sa atong gobyerno no kay para although na feel nato ma-mitigate nato na ang maong mga kuan no impact no especially karon nga doon na climate change. Anyways mga katambayan, mao kana naglangkob sa to ang panag-uban karong hapuna hangtod sunod pohon daghang salamat ug mayong adlaw.